Hello BookTube, my November manga pre-orders have arrived. What I do is every month I put in a pre-order for the following month's forthcoming volumes of manga in the series that I actively follow, as well as debuting volumes of series that I would like to try out. I normally do this with Book People, the great bookstore in Austin, Texas, although this month I also did a pre-order with Powell's, the great bookstore in Portland, Oregon. So let's get started. First step is the 28th volume of Jujutsu Kaisen by Gege Akutami. The plan to confiscate Sukuna's curse technique fails. Higuruma finds himself separated from Itadori and the others while confronting Sukuna one-on-one. Can Higuruma take down Sukuna armed with only his sword? Meanwhile, Okotsu heads over to the most intense fighting in Shinjuku and opens his domain. So really looking forward to this. This is one of the final volumes of Jujutsu Kaisen. I think after this, there are 2 more volumes left. Next up is the 4th volume of Snowball Run, which is the 7th part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure by Hirohiko Araki. So there isn't any summary material on this volume. It is a naked hardcover. And this is the one that I pre-ordered from Powell's. So, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a long-running manga series that is composed of separate parts that themselves act as individual manga series, although telling one extended story. In JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, a young man named Johnny Joestar is participating in a cross-country race from San Diego, California to New York City, New York for if I remember correctly, it's a $500,000 cash prize, but it could be $1 million cash prize. Johnny joined this race not so much for the money, but to follow along with another entrant, Jaro Zappelli, who utilizes steel balls to give them an intense spin that he can use to manipulate matter, including giving the paralyzed Johnny the ability to stand again. During the race, Johnny begins to develop a superpower called a stand, and over the course of the race, many entrants in the race begin to develop stand abilities. And this causes all sorts of chaos as it becomes clear that there's something else going on with this race besides just the cross-country race, that there's another agenda behind everything. So, really looking forward to this. I have been enjoying Snowball Run immensely. Next is the lone debut volume from this haul. It is Kingdom Volume 1 by Yasuhisa Hara. Shin is a war orphan in a poor village in the kingdom of Qin. He has big dreams of becoming the greatest general under the heavens, and when his best friend's life is cut short by political machinations, Shin finds himself on a quest to do what no one else has ever done before: unify China. Shin's journey begins when his friend Piao, another war orphan who imparts to Shin the same dream of becoming the greatest generals under the heavens, is offered a position in court in the capital. He leaves Shin behind to train on his own, and to meet him there one day. One fateful night, Piao returns bloodied and on the brink of death, with his dying words being for Shin to go meet a boy who turns out to look exactly like Piao. But this is no ordinary boy. It's the king of Qin, Ying Jing, and assassins are all hot on his tail. So this is a story about the first emperor of China. Next up is Kagurabachi Volume 5 by Takeru Hokazono. Chihiro Rokuhiro's father, Kunishigi, is the most famous swordsmith in the land. Thanks to his 6 enchanted blades, the war that has been gripping the nation ends, and peaceful days follow. After the war, he retrieves all 6 blades and hides them in the cellar of his workshop. But sorcerers raid his home and leave Kunishigi dead in front of Chihiro. Many years later, Chihiro wields Kunishigi's 7th and final enchanted blade on a mission to retrieve the stolen swords. Chihiro sacrifices the enchanted blade Cloud Gouger to seize back the Ensign, the 7th blade. While attempting to rescue prisoners inside the storehouse, he struggles against Kyora's ability to manipulate the entire space. As the ferocious battle reaches its peak, a desperate Kyora, driven into a corner, unleashes a bit of the Shinichi's power. So, Kagurabachi is a relatively new series, and I am loving it. Next is Choujin X, Volume 10 by Sui Ishida. Best friends Tokio and Azuma do everything together, even if most of the time it feels like Tokio is just stumbling along in Azuma's cooler, more talented footsteps. But when they're attacked one night by a superhuman mutant called a Choujin, Tokio finally has a chance to shine by turning into a Choujin himself. After years of clashing with Zora and her forces, Yamato Mori now has a chance to defeat their former leader. But this final showdown will be on Zora's home turf, and everyone knows the cost of storming her tower will be high. Will the battle be the perfect chance for Tokio and his friends to prove themselves to their mentors, or is this finally the fight they won't walk away from? Ooh, really loving this series. This is Nue's Exorcist, Volume 3 by Kota Kawae. For as long as he can remember, Gakuro Yajima has been able to see spirits, beings that are drawn to human sadness and anger. A fateful encounter with a quirky pop culture-loving spirit named Nue marks the start of Gakuro's spirit exorcist adventure. After losing to Gakuro, fellow exorcist Shiroha ends up living at the school under Nue's protection. However, Shiroha's days of peace are shattered by the arrival of her mentor, Moriyuki Fujino, who has come to take her back to her controlling family. In the battle to determine Shiroha's fate, Moriyuki easily backs Nue into a corner, but as always, Nue has something else up her sleeve. Really liking this series as well. Dark Gathering, Volume 16 by Kenichi Kondo. After a dangerous encounter with a malevolent spirit, Kaitaro Gintoga wants nothing to do with the supernatural. Unfortunately for this reluctant ghost magnet, he's stuck helping Yayoi Hozuki, a strange young girl who's intent on capturing Japan's most terrifying ghosts and ghouls. The final stage of Operation Bellflower Regicide begins as Yayoi finally unleashes the full might of her graduates on Yin Jiao. The fates of Ai, Kaitaro, Aiko, and Yayoi all hang in the balance as 7 of the deadliest ghosts Japan has ever seen square off against one truly monstrous god. Ooh. Ooh, really looking forward to that. Sakamoto Days, Volume 19 by Yuto Suzuki. Taro Sakamoto was once a legendary hitman considered the greatest of all time. Bad guys feared him, assassins revered him. But then one day he quit, got married, and had a baby. He's now living the quiet life as the owner of a neighborhood store. But how long can Sakamoto enjoy his days of retirement before his past catches up to him? When Slur takes what should be a lethal wound, he transforms, suddenly manifesting Akeo's personality. Sakamoto and Nagumo are baffled to encounter what seems to be their long-lost friend, and the trio attempts to flee from the JAA. But when they come face-to-face with their most dreaded opponent, the Assassin Exhibition of the Century arc reaches its climax. And finally, Snowball Earth, Volume 7 by Yuhiro Tsujitsugu. In the year 2025, huge beasts from beyond the galaxy attacked Earth. In the war that followed, humanity fought back with a giant robot named Yukio, piloted by Tetsuo Yabusame. As the massive alien swarm closed in on humanity's homeworld, Tetsuo and the Earth Defense Force deployed for the final battle with the invading horde. They lost. The vast power source found within Yukio's final form gives humanity a glimmer of hope toward securing Earth's safety. But on their way to a new village, Tetsuo and Yukio encounter a giant robot. What's more, this robot looks exactly like Yukio, but with black hardware. Will this unknown machine prove to be friend or foe? Then Earth's icy battle heats up as one of the strongest kaiju smashes its way toward Tetsuo's crew from below ground. So, time for Steve Pyramid. So, in this manga haul, I have Snowball Run, Volume 4, Snowball Earth, Volume 7, Choujin X, Volume 10, Kingdom, Volume 1, Jujutsu Kaisen, Volume 28, Sakamoto Days, Volume 19, Dark Gathering, Volume 16, Noe's Exorcist, Volume 3, and Kagurabachi, Volume 5. So, really happy to have all of these. I'm going to go ahead and put them up on the shelves while this video loads. And then I will be back shortly with my December reading plans. Until then, BookTube, thank you, have a great afternoon, and stay safe.